Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit, and we're continuing our series of daily morning meditations where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the Daily Office Lectionary. And I thought we'd take a little sidetrack and we go into the Old Testament lesson that's assigned for today from the book Exodus. And so remember, the story of Exodus is the story of the people of Israel having been freed from slavery led by Moses. They are now heading their way to the Promised Land. But it's going to take them a long time. They've been going to spend a lot of time going through the desert, 40 years, in matter of fact, for that to happen. So now we are on chapter 16, beginning at verse 1. And they took their journey from Elim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel, and they came in the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the second month after their departing out of the land of Egypt. And the whole congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said unto them, Would to God we had died by the hand of the Lord in the land of Egypt, when we sat by the flesh pots, and when we did eat bread to the full, for ye have brought us forth into the wilderness to kill this whole assembly with hunger. Then said the Lord unto Moses, Behold, I will rain bread from heaven for you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or no. And it shall come to pass that on the 6th day they shall prepare that which they shall bring in, and it shall be twice as much as they gather daily. And Moses and Aaron said unto the children of Israel, At even, then ye shall know that the Lord hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt. And in the morning, then ye shall see the glory of the Lord, and that he heareth your murmurings against the Lord. And what are we that ye murmur against us? And the morning a dew lay round about the host. And when the dew that was lay had gone up, behold, on the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And when the children of Israel saw it, they said to one another, It is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which the Lord hath given you to eat. So, the Bible is such a great observation in human behavior, right? Here they are. God's done all these miracles. They've witnessed these miracles. They've seen the angel of death pass over the house of all the people of Israel because they've marked the doorpost with the blood of the Lamb and destroy all the firstborn of the Egyptians. They've seen this Red Sea parted, and they go through the Red Sea, and then they see the Red Sea collapse on the Egyptians and on their chariots. And now here they are saying, it might have been better if we'd have just died in Egypt, right? Because we've got plenty to eat. Our bellies were full. And now you've just taken us out here and we're going to starve to death, right? So it's amazing how quickly we forget all the good and gracious things that God has done to us. It's kind of, gee, that was so yesterday. What about now? What have you done for us lately? So of course, God continues to provide for his people. And we hear the story of manna, that every day there's going to be bread that will appear on the ground. They'll be able to gather. Of course, in the evenings, they'll have fowls from the air will come every evening, and they'll be able to eat flesh as well, flesh meat. But in the morning, every day, the hoarfrost will dissipate. And in fact, it'll be manna. It'll be bread from heaven. And of course, there's a lot of allusions to this for us as well as members of the new covenant. We do pray as Jesus taught us to give us this day our daily bread. And so the people of Israel had to trust that the bread would be there every day. They weren't allowed to take up 2 days worth except for on the 6th day because they couldn't gather. They couldn't do physical labor on the 7th day, on the 7th day. So they had to trust. And we do hear, as we get further on in the story, we do hear that some people tried to gather up more than they needed for one day, and thinking maybe it won't be there tomorrow. And of course, it festered and grew worms and was really quite unseemly. So it becomes, even the feeding by God becomes a test and an opportunity for trust and for holiness. So, of course, we know that the daily bread that our Lord gives us is, of course, his own flesh that he provides for us himself in the Blessed Sacrament. So today's Friday, no public worship at St. John's Church, but of course, I hope that you are saying your prayers at home, and we are praying, of course, for you as well. And of course, we're getting ready for Sunday, aren't we? And God willing, we'll see you then. Until then, may your Friday be full of blessings.